G'day, g'day, g'day. So I'm filming the moon, the supermoon, through a window, and I randomly discovered that you can see the ultraviolet pink, and I don't know why, but you can also see the plasmatic field produced by the moon. So I'll move my camera. There you go, it's moved, and look, there's a cloud around it. I was thinking, is that cloud something on my window, like my nose print? Like up here, there's a nose print. There's a street light, see on the left. So, what's the deal with the moon these days? Can't hardly see it, you know. Okay, so with my eyes, I can see close enough that I can actually see that there are black mine holes in the moon. But my camera doesn't have a zoom lens to zoom that far. So see, if I zoom back, you'll see it's changed to a most weird looking thing. And then zoom forward. So the Egyptians used to see it like that, with wings on the side. Maybe they had artificial cameras, and all they could get was this weird moon thing. It's got the rainbows and shit going on around it, like clouds passing it by. Is it what's really in space? These random clouds. And yet it's a clear sky at night. So it might be the grime on my window. Yeah, if I move the camera, you'll see the grime pass by. Moving it, see, moving it. It's like a UFO, eh? UFOs are meant to be like dodging like that. Looks like a UFO now. But the truth is, it's the white dove. Okay, this is my little belief system. It's artificial, but I'll make it up. Okay, so what do we know about when people die? They become an orb, a big ball, right? I took my dad's body up to his burial place, and the thing is, I took some photos on the way, and this orb that had pictures of my dad's face in it. Big golden basketball sized orb. O-R-B. Okay, orb. Can't really say it right. And so my theory is that the moon itself might have been a great person, like Abraham or someone like that who was very faithful to God, but the sun might well have been Moses. So I heard that in the Bible there's this guy who rode up there on a chariot, and it's been said that they found his chariot up on the moon, and it was a great big wooden spaceship, but it had hardened into rock over time, and the age of the Earth is really only 10 billion years old. Back to Adam. God made the Earth not much earlier than Adam. And the moon, if you look at it, for the photos that they have of it, it actually looks like someone had got some clay from pottery and moulded it. So anyway, I believe that the moon is Mary Magdalene, and that is Jesus' wife's name. They try to cuss her and say that she was a prostitute and stuff. It wouldn't matter what she was into, because with Jesus, he loves you, regardless of these cursing people. Okay? So I think this is what the moon really looks like, and the camera can never lie. And the sun is Jesus. But his downside is that the moon actually is negative, and at the moment it's reflecting some positive. Because the sun is very overly hot. And they tried to deny it, but they gave it some fuel, and it was gold. They fired gold bricks at it, and the gold, well, it's the moon, I believe, is made out of lead. No, sorry, the sun is made out of lead. And what they do is they get fuel from the moon, and it's gold. It's made out of gold, and what they do is they mine it, and they take it and drop it on the sun. And what it is actually corrosion, rusting. How does rusting really work? Well, you get something like a metal that's primitiver than the other one that the whole body of it's made of. What happens is the surface purer material tries to eat through the impurer. Why is it trying to eat? It wants to be at the core, but it can't get there so easy because it's been made in mass amounts of dust. So same goes for me. I had some lead, copper and zinc, and I reverse electroplated them into nano powder. And what else? Yeah. And so anyway, what happened was I put them in this pot. After I had pushed it through electricity and through salt, I washed out the salt. I washed out anything that would wash out and settled the remaining powder. Then I kept washing until there was nothing floating, and then I pretty much kept the heavy powders, hoping to keep the lead and the zinc, or at least the lead and the gold. And I put it in a saucepan pot to dry it because it had solution water in it. And lo and behold, what happened? A miracle. The heavy metals started to corrode and rust, but themselves weren't rusting. What it was the whole pot that had contact with it. As you boil the pot, you force energy in because it was a conduction pot. So if you push electricity through a metal intentionally, it causes it to rust, and it's called oxidation. But what happens is the purer metal, which is gold, tries to eat into the iron to get through it, because it believes that, just like a puddle of mud, you throw a stone in, the stone will not just float and not just sit there unless the texture of the water, the metal of the mud is, too hard to get through. So what happened is it started eating holes, and it was spewing out these strange slime out of nowhere, crystallizing as well. Yeah. So that was pretty much a experience where I thought nothing of, really. I just thought, fuck, this pot's fucked now, I don't know, pardon the language. And anyway, I looked at the pot, and after a few weeks I realised that rusting needs water and oxygen. So I pretty much splashed the pot with some water, hoping the pot might rust, but it was a stainless steel pot, and yet it ate into it, and yet it oozed these slime crystals. So I figured it must have been salt, so I thought, scrape it all out, try to wash it again, rinse it, settle it, rinse it, settle it, and then try to put it back in the pot again and see what happens. Boil up the pot again, and the outcome was that the rusting effect started to eat sort of like holes into this other metal pot, which was supposed to be in a smooth and strong pot. And one day I left it on the heat too long and the layers of metal started to expand, and that also encouraged rusting, but it burrowed holes into that pot. And in those burrowed holes was gold. And I thought, if I had aqua regia or nitric acid, I could eat into that, but I'd have to only rinse it because the gold would be diabolical. It would be metal all rust fitting in with it, and I don't want that. It's not an easy, cheap cost to get metals and so forth. Oh, alright then. Before it turns 14 minutes. So I'm still stuck with that dilemma on how to get all of it. And I put lots in, made a paste. There's lots of water in there too, hoping for it to rust into it. Then I thought, what a dick, you're going to end up having to melt that pot. So there's another way. You can go make a fire pit, but first you put some pipes in. Then you put the frying pan, you put some charcoal, then put a frying pan, you put your ore or whatever dust or whatever in that pan. You put the metals that collect it, like copper, and then you're forced to bring it up to temperature, like to the temperature that copper would melt. Burn away the copper and hope that the gold doesn't whoosh off too. So I heard that Moses turned copper into gold by destruction through fire. So have a think about that. Right then, I'm going to see you later. Like or subscribe. Sorry that it was a crappy dark video.